Well, students, today we shall try to analyze stanza 3 of the Preludes written by T.S. Eliot. We have finished two stanzas of this poem and we saw how the poet is depicting the sordid nature of civilization or modernization of a city. In the first stanza, we have the description of a winter evening which is so disgusting, which is so polluting the environment. And in the second stanza, we saw about the morning. So, when the morning takes place, how the multitudes of people's hands are raised in order to remove the curtains from the windows so that the light can enter, the sunlight can enter into their rooms. We also see in the second stanza how in the morning people rush towards the coffee house in order to take the coffee, morning coffee. So, this is how T.S. Eliot describes the disgusting, sordid, the dirty environment, dirty nature of a city life. That is very depressing. The winter evening is also depressing. The morning hours that leads to human beings in its concluding lines. Now we have this third stanza. So let me recite this stanza first, then we will try to explain its lines, or we will try to get the meaning or the intention of the poet. So, you tossed a blanket from the bed. You lay upon your back and waited. You dozed and watched the night revealing the thousand sordid images of which your soul was constituted. They flickered against the ceiling, and when all the world came back, and the light crept up between the shutters, and you heard the sparrows in the gutters, you had such a vision of the street as the street hardly understands, sitting along the bed's edge, where you curled the papers from your hair, or clasped the yellow soles of feet in the palms of both soiled hands. So, this is what we have in this stanza, the lines. Let's go with the explanation of these lines. As the third prelude, the presents picture of a woman. Here we have a picture of woman. Morning is there, early morning is there. That is continue with the second stanza. Now there is the picture of a woman who is trying to get up, who is trying to get out of her bed, although she is not at all interested to get out of the bed. She still is feeling drowsy and dozy. So let's see. You, the first line, you here stands for the figure of the dirty woman, a dirty woman. So there we have the picture of a dirty woman. So perhaps she wants to bed, perhaps she went to bed without taking a bath at night. So it is a practice in good societies in western countries that they take a bath before they go to bed in the night. So her hands and feet and body are unclean because she has gone to bed without cleaning her body, her feet, and her hands as well. Then the night is over, the day breaks, she awakes, but she does not get up or sit down on the bed at once. So she awakes, but she doesn't come out from the bed at once, but she's lying on her back on the bed for some time. It means she is not willing to come out of the bed, though it's a late morning. She lies still on her back and appears to be having a mild doze. So mild doze, she is still dozing. अभी भी वो नींद महसूस कर रही है. So she is thinking, now she is thinking, अभी थोड़ी जग गई है, थोड़ी नींद महसूस कर रही है. So in that time, she is thinking of her sordid experiences of the night which compose her inner life. So she is reminding, she is recollecting, thinking of her dirty experiences of this night, this past night. That is, which compose her inner life. So her inner life is composed of those sordid nights. So she is recollecting them, reminding them, thinking of them. And these experiences, sordid experiences, they flashed for a moment like a lantern slides on the ceiling of the house. And then these slides vanished as the light crept into the room between the shutters. When the light entered through the shutters into the room, so it means the sunlight now has entered into the room. Even then, she is not getting up, but she is lying on her bed, on her back, and recollecting, thinking about the dirty images, the dirty experiences of the night. And the ear was regaled by the sound of the sparrows, and because it's morning, so the light is entering, sunlight is entering into the rooms. Whereas the sparrows, the sound of the sparrows can also be heard from the gutters. Okay? Then the woman sits up on the edge of her bed. किनारे पे, बिस्तर के किनारे पे उठ के बैठती है. कर्ल्स द पेपर्स फ्रॉम हर हेयर, और जो पेपर्स अपने बालों में जो लगा रखे थे कर्लिंग करने के लिए, उनको शी रिमूव्स, हटाती है. She then grabs the yellow sole of her feet with the palm of both her dirty hands. After then, she takes her yellow means pale, means again weak, which have become weak. Yellow sole of her feet. She takes her sole of her feet in her dirty hands, in the palms of her dirty hands. अपनी जो गंदे हाथ हैं उसकी हथेली में वो अपने उन पैरों की जो सोल है उसको लेती है, पकड़ती है, कैच करती है, लेकिन स्टिल नॉट विलिंग टू गेट आउट. देन शी बिगिंस टू थिंक, देन अगेन शी थिंक्स, she is in thinking. What she thinks? She thinks of the trampled street, the street trampled, which we had in the beginning stanza. The street trampled by the people. The street is trampled by the people. So now this lady is thinking about the trampled street outside, and then conjures up an unstreet-like vision of it. Then she thinks, then she gets the idea that this street is not like a street because it has been trampled, कुचल दी गई है. और this vision, ये जो vision है, that has been described in the last prelude. We will see when we get the last prelude. Then she imagines, then she compares that the road of the street is like a woman who is trampled by the innumerable men. So she is comparing the street road with the woman. As the woman is trampled or exploited by the innumerable men, in the same way the street is also trampled by the innumerable men. So the dirty street is like, therefore the dirty street is like that unclean woman who has been also trampled by many men. So she is stretching on her back and passively enduring the pressures of men mounted on her. So dirty street is like that unclean woman who is stretching her back on her back, and she is passively enduring the pressures of men who mounted upon her in the night. So these experiences of that sordid night, this lady is thinking of, and therefore she is comparing the street of the outside to the woman who has been trampled by innumerable men. So in this way, the street, like the woman, faces the day with a blackened conscience. So just like a woman is facing the day with a blackened conscience, in the same way the street is also facing the day with blackened conscience. That is very sordid image, very dirty image. It has been depicted by the poet. Now let's go with some critical note of this stanza. With the return of the day, the sordid images washed in the night by the woman seem to make a vision of the street possible. So, return of the day, that is again the day breaks. So the sordid images of the night, which have been washed in the night by the woman, are here just like a vision of the street which is possible. So the image of the woman here suggests weariness and toil. Weariness and toil, depression, disappointment, fatigued. Again, the purpose of the poet here is to show the images of stinking city streets and tired and depressed people leading dirty life. So the purpose is absolutely clear here, that the poet is trying to show the dirty city as well as the dirty people who are living in that city. So the woman's soul here is depicted as being sordid, dirty, like everything else which have been mentioned in the poem. There is nothing in her soul to distinguish her from the environment. So there is nothing in her soul which can be distinguished her from the environment. So the environment is also the same, her soul is also made of the same. So the woman's vision is an insight into the sordid bits and pieces which make up the street. So the same comparison is here. As the woman is made of those sordid images, sordid experiences of the trample, in the same way the street is also showing like a woman, trampled street, sordid streets. So this is what we have, the explanation of this stanza, dear friends, and in our next lecture we would be finishing this poem with the stanza number 4. What this lady in fact thinking about, that we will see. So this is for now, and bye bye, have a nice day. Thank you very much. See you very soon.